What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this video is going to be a UI challenge, guys. I know I haven't made a videos in a long time. That's because I got a couple of projects now to work on, and so yeah, I was working on those specific applications. But I got some free time today, and hence I thought I would make a cool UI challenge video. In this video, what we'll be doing is we'll be trying to recreate the screen on the left side. This screen, okay. This screen has screen is a minimal design, right? It just uses, wow, it has a lot of stuff in it. Anyway, we'll go ahead and try to do this. Initially it has a carousel like thing, and there is a chip embedded on top of an image inside which some data is present. It also has a nice looking button. Then it has a list, probably a list of cards, and each card contains a it's like a post. So this guy made this post 6 minutes ago, and it also shows a price, and it shows an images of this particular house, the newly decorated house. There's a small description available as well. So if we break this down into 3, then this would be 1, and this would be 2. These cards would be 2, and the stuff inside these cards would be 3, right? This grid like thing would be 3. So yeah, that's enough. So let's go ahead and start with 1. 1 is nothing but a carousel which contains an image, and there is a small white color board embedded on top of that image. We will probably be using a stack for this, and there is some data inside this container as well. First, let me take up a bigger version. Yeah, okay. So let's get started. I have a blank app scaffolded out here, and wait, let me just. And I have wait, I'll show the assets directory. I have a couple of images here and a font as well. I have gone ahead and included all those in my pubspec.yaml file, as you can see here. Where is it? Yeah, as you can see here. And I also have installed this plugin, Carousel Slider plugin, that's going to help me to create the carousel in my screen. So we'll start with the app bar. As you can see here, the app bar has a title and a small back arrow button. So inside the app bar, let's go ahead and title text. It's nothing but a text, guys, so I'll just cut the video here and resume recording after I have added this title. Fine, the app bar is done. I know I said I'll just add the title, but I went ahead and added the leading icon as well. It's nothing but an icon button that uses the arrow back iOS icon. That's it. And I'm giving it as colors.transparent, and I'm reducing the elevation to 0 so that it doesn't have a small slight gray shadow behind the app bar. Let's save this, run this on a mobile device, and see how this looks. Give me a minute, guys, I'll connect my mobile. Alright, guys, as you can see here, now we have a nice looking title at the top of the screen as well as a back arrow button. It was a bit smaller, right? So let's just reduce the size some 15. Too small now. Okay, you can play around with these options as you wish. Now let's move on. So now that we have this and this ready, let's just go ahead and try to recreate this carousel. For this I'll be using a stack, as I said before, and that stack should obviously include this as well, right? A small white section is outside of this image as well. So what I'll do is I'll enclose that whole thing within a stack. Wait, I'll show you guys. List view, inside this I'll have children, and inside this I'll use stack children. Inside this I'll be doing container height some 300 maybe, and color would be obviously colors.transparent. Why am I doing this? Wait, I'll show you. Since I need to place a bigger container behind this and place this carousel slider on top of that container, so that we can have this jutting out. Wait, you'll see that when we actually show it on the mobile device rather than me trying to talk about it. So after this I'll just do carousel slider. Carousel slider, this will take in a few options, for instance height, and items. For this I'll go ahead and have a list with all my items so that I can wait, I'll show you. Fine. Now inside this I can simply do all images dot map map of I and inside this I'll do return builder build context and return. Here I'll use another stack. Why am I using another stack? I'll let you know in a minute. Stack children once again, container height would be some 300.0 and color would be once again colors dot transparent. Fine. And padding, I'll use a padding edge insets dot all some 8.0 maybe. Fine. And I'll have a container inside this container. This container is going to be our actual image, height 200.0 and decoration box decoration box decoration and border radius dot circular some 7.0 maybe. It was slightly rounded, right? Yeah, it is slightly rounded, 7.0 and image decoration image asset image of I fit would be box fit dot cover. Fine. And here it's already closed. If we save this, we should get a nice looking image carousel. Let's save this and see how this looks on a mobile device. Wow, as you can see here, we get a nice looking image carousel, right? We can simply swipe through those images as well. Fine. Now let's go ahead and try to recreate that chip on this particular we have a small chip on this particular image, right? Let's try to do this. So what I'll do is I'll use a position widget to place that chip on the image. After this padding, I'll go ahead and use a position widget. Left 25.0, top 150.0, child container and height would be some 100.0, width would be some 240.0, decoration box decoration with opacity 0.8. Fine. And after this box shadow spread radius, I'll give it some 1.0. You understand what I'm doing here, right? If we save this, you will see that we have a, see, you can see that we have a nice looking white color chip embedded on top of that image, just like we have in our design spec, right? So this is exactly what I was trying to recreate, and we have that nice looking transparency as well, a slight transparency as well in that particular chip, if you notice. So what we need to do is we need to get this content inside that particular chip now. Since this is mostly going to be text, I think, no, I'll just do it quickly. So after this box decoration, I'll have a child. This child will be container width to be some 240, padding, edge insets dot only left 10.0, right 10.0, fine, and child would be row, main axis alignment dot space between, so that we get this. You get why I'm doing that, right? We have to place this as well. How I'm going to be tackling this is I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be having a big row, and inside that row this will be the first element and this will be the second element. As you probably guessed it, this is going to be a column and this is going to be another column. Okay, the column will have this text and this and these three particular statistics, whereas this column will be having this rating as well as a blue colored button. That's about it. So what I'll do is I'll stop the video here and then resume recording as soon as this is mostly text, right? There is nothing fancy in this, so I'll just skip this part of me typing out a bunch of text. Fine, I have added those text as I mentioned, and not only that, I have added a nice looking blue colored button as well. So I'll save this. Let's see how this looks on our mobile device. As you can see here, it looks really stunning, right? We have this nice looking statistics on the chip as well and the deck as well, and we have a nice looking blue color button on one end of the deck. Now if you scroll through this, you can see that there is a deck present in each image, below each image. Now this is the reason why I was using a two stacks, a stack inside another stack. If I hadn't used a stack here, wait, I'll show you. If I hadn't used a stack here and I just relied only on this stack, as soon as I place this carousel slider inside this particular stack and place this white colored container on top of that carousel using a position widget, whenever I swipe through these images, the images alone will move, whereas the white color container will remain static. You get it, right? Because that white color image, white colored container has nothing to do with the carousel image. So in order to make this move as well as have a unique individual white colored container, statistics container for each image in the carousel, I simply used a stack here as well and then return this white color image from, white color container from inside this as part of this carousel image as well, carousel element as well, right? So now you have this entire thing is a stack, and inside that you have each and every carousel element. That carousel element is also a stack which contains an image as well as a small white color container with some statistics present on top of that image, right? So as you flip through each and every element in the carousel, you get this nice looking, the nice looking white color container below that also moves along with the carousel item, since it's part of the carousel item. That's the reason why I used two stacks. If you didn't understand, kindly go through the code. I will provide the link to this code in the GitHub repo where I have stored this code. I will provide a link in the description section below. Kindly go through that once. Now that we have done half of it, let's go ahead and wait, let me just take this. We'll go ahead and create this 2 lines of text, and then we'll move on to this particular list view. So to create that 2 lines of text, I'll simply pause the video here and then resume recording once I have done that, since that's not going to be, it's simply a row, guys, a row which contains 2 lines of text. That's about it. If I save this, you can see that on the mobile device we have the text, the simple text in a single row, as you can see here. The next thing we need to do is we need to create a rectangular box inside which we will be having this post. So first let's go ahead and do that. To create that, first I'll go ahead and create a list view. So after this I'll use a container. You need to specify a specific height, otherwise it will throw up a issue. Height media query dot off context dot size dot height minus 425.0. fine. And after this, child list view children. This is where we are going to be using a function to create this particular part of the UI, so that we can call that same function to create multiple cards. So what I'll do is I'll have a function called build card, and this function will take in the parameters what was that guy's name, the name, the image, the price, and the description. Okay, and it should probably take the set of images shown inside this particular card as well, but since this is just a demonstration, we'll use the same image, we'll use a single image. Okay, so for now the name, the image, the price, and the description. So Gaunuli assets chris.jpg and 3.6. After this, let's go ahead and create. If you save this, you can see this container. It will be looking really good, right? We have this really good container, and inside this is where we are going to be placing all our content. So we'll have a child for this. Once again, this is going to be nothing but a couple of lines of text, right? These two lines of text with a small container having this image, and here there's going to be another line of text and this description as well. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video here, recording here, and then finish off all these and then resume recording. Fine, let's save this now. Wow, it looks really good on the mobile device, right? We have a nice looking profile image just like we have here. Where is it? Sorry, just like we have here, and the name as well as a small time notification beneath it, the price tag, and a nice looking description about the house as well. So next, this is just few lines of text placed inside rows and columns, guys. That's why I just skip this part while editing the video. Next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and create these three images in a grid-like structure. So for that, what I'll do is once again I can make use of rows and columns to accomplish this easily, I guess. Let's do it one by one. After this column, see how this looks on the mobile device. Wow, it looks really good, right? Now we have an image just like we have on the left side, a bigger oh, this is really big. We didn't use that much height for the card. Anyway, we have a similar looking design here, right? Now let's go ahead and try to do these smaller images exactly the way we did this. The only thing is we'll be placing this inside a column in a reduced height. This is 125, right? We'll be doing 60 60, and inside for 5 units we'll give for this spacing. Okay, fine. Now we have those 2 images as well. Maybe not exactly like we have in the design spec. The reason is the design spec used a bigger card, and so they could use a bigger space for this particular image, whereas we had a card of a smaller height. Probably if we increase the height of the card, then we'll get, you can try that on your own, guys. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this card as well. This card is not much of an issue. We just need to call that particular card again, right? Fine. Now I added this card as well. Let's save this. See how this looks on the mobile device. Wow, it looks really good, right? We have this card, and we have the other card, Michael, 4.3 million, and the description, country, garden, a villa to add me, and all that, right? So now we have these 2 cards in this nice looking UI screen as well as we have a top carousel that we can show some statistics on as well, right? So yeah, guys, this is what I want. I know I skipped a few parts, like say for instance the count of the images on this particular image. For this you just need to use a stack. First use a stack and place a small container with a dark opacity. Increase the transparency, reduce the opacity a lot, give it just 0.1 or 0.2, and you will get this nice looking frosted glass effect. And on top of that, place this white colored text in bold. That's it. Okay, so this is one thing that I omitted. Other than that, I think I have done everything on this particular screen. So yeah, guys, this is exactly what I wanted to show you guys today. Hope this helped you guys. If you found this helpful, kindly share it with someone and help them too. If you like this video, kindly hit the thumbs up button. Okay, kindly hit the thumbs up button. And if you like what I'm doing on this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel so that you get and click on the bell icon once you subscribe, so that you get notifications each and every time I upload a new video. Okay, so yeah, guys, subscribe, it's free, and hit the thumbs up button. And as I said before, I am currently caught up in some work. That's why I didn't make a video last week. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.